Well, isn't this a fun way to start a podcast? In case you're catching it on Small Scale Life Podcast, I just lit a candle in here. Happy Halloween, everybody. My name is Tom. I am the host of the Small Scale Life Podcast, also the Small Scale Life YouTube channel. This is a test, essentially, because, well, I've been off the air for a bit, and I just wanted to do a little podcast here. Whoa. Podcast by candlelight here in my podcast studio that I call The Landing. Welcome to The Landing, everybody. Welcome to the Small Scale Life Podcast. It's been a while since we've done one, and I want to get back on, just see if this works, see how this works, break off some rust, have a little spooky Halloween podcast. Put that over there so I don't burn anything. I hope you all are doing great. There we go. Adjusting everything. In case you're on the podcast, I just adjusted the camera. So, yeah, let's just get on, talk a little bit. This is being recorded, and this will be added up to the Small Scale Life Podcast, and I think we're up to 193 episodes of the Small Scale Life Podcast. Been quiet for a bit. Why is that? Well, we've been a little busy. In case you wanted to see what's going on, I am in a small shed that's near the main house that's right over there, and this is my office and the podcast studio. So I have my own podcast studio. That's a nice little shed here. So wanted to come on, break off the rust, get going. As we started a lot of our podcasts here this year, we're going to start with a little gratitude. So it's hard to have a bad day when you start your day with gratitude. And there's a bunch of people that I wanted to shout out and say thank you for all your support and all the love and coming out to the place and all those things here over the past year. So one person that really appreciate is Amy Dingman from A Farmish Kind of Life. She's a good friend, and she's had some really good questions of the week, some really powerful posts and podcasts lately. So it's been really fun responding to her questions, and just she's a good person all the way around. So really, thank you, Amy, for being a good friend. Also, AJ and Hannah Famry from the Wisconsin Homestead Podcast. They're some really good people. Hannah was on the show. Gosh, we were still in the apartment. When was that? Earlier this spring when we had Hannah on the show. So hope they're doing well, and we really enjoy what they're doing there. So check that out at the Wisconsin Homestead Podcast. Also, want to give a shout out to my friend Michael Bell from Dallas Half Acre Farms. He's been here on the Small Scale Life Podcast quite a bit. We need to have him back on the show. He is still growing lots of veggies down there in Dallas, and he's been a great friend, so hope he's doing well. Of course, Mr. Tactical J down in parts unknown in the East Coast of this country. Hope he's doing well, and I know he's making a lot of cranberry jalapeno jelly for clients, and he's using our recipe here on Small Scale Life. We don't have many recipes. We kind of went away from that, but there is some stuff that I think I just want to put on there, and that kind of goes with the whole philosophy of what I'm trying to do with Small Scale Life and kind of doing some shifting there. So anyway, cranberry jalapeno jelly, Mr. Tactical is crushing it, and I always love talking with Jay. Someday I'm going to get him on record one of his driving sessions, because it's always epic. We always seem to talk when he's driving. So also want to give a shout out to my good friend Adam Rick from A Modern Frontier. He's got a great TikTok presence and makes a lot of great dishes, great homesteader, and it's kind of fun. We're going to have him on the show just to talk about our shared past, because I think my family, his family, really connected and were together because they were just a few miles apart in central Wisconsin in this little itty-bitty town called Oxford, and that's why all roads lead to Oxford. So yeah, it's amazing how our roots are so intertwined, and it's really fun talking with him. So we just met down in Milwaukee just a couple weeks ago, and it was a really good time. We just really had a nice night. Also want to shout out my friend Cal Macy from the Atlantis Gazette. Was on his show, his Instagram show, about a year ago, and we've been talking about doing that again. So shout out to him and his artwork and all the things he's doing there and his legal practice. So good job, Cal. So also a big shout out to Brian and Corey from the Lots Project. And Brian, as I was talking here for the YouTube video, I'm actually re-recording this because this recording stopped. So I'm going to actually re-record this and actually probably sound a little more coherent. But anyway, Brian is texting me as I'm speaking, so he's interrupting my train of thought. But we're going to have him on the show real soon. He was just out at Squatch Fest, Corey and Brian and their 3 St. Bernards. So we are going to talk about traveling with big dogs and also their plans for the Lots project. And they've been documenting that. It's a pretty cool story there. So good on those guys. Can't wait to have them on the show. And also our Driftless Wolves will keep their identities secret right now because good people, and they were all out here just yesterday, and it was a good time. It's our little community here out in the Driftless. And also family members, Dave, Dan, Sue, Jules, of course, for helping and doing so much at the farm. Yes, the farm, Driftless Oaks Farm. Man, they've done a lot of work here, and it's really helped us out, and we got a lot more to do. So thank you all, one and all, for all of your help. And you really should tell someone thank you for their help, or thank you for just being them. It'll really change your day, and it'll give you a different perspective on things. And it really does lift up your mood to get somebody to smile and tell them thanks and tell them they're working hard. And people don't hear that enough, especially these days. It's so many angry people in the world, and people need a little ray of sunshine sometimes. And I think it would really start to change things all around us. So make sure you do that. Say thank you. Okay. Now, what the heck have we been doing? Well, I want to get back on the air, especially on Halloween, and tell you that all is well here. All is well with me and Jules. We have been super busy. We've been moving into this new farm, this new place called Driftless Oaks Farm. So that's what we called it. Used to be called Calamity Acres, but nope, we renamed it. There are some really cool ancient oak trees here that are over 200 years old, and it just spoke to us. And actually, Jules came up with the name. I mean, I'm usually the naming guy. I names all kinds of stuff, but she came up with the name. So this is a great place. We are in love with it. It's a 10-acre homestead here in western Wisconsin, and we're really close to the Mississippi River. We're close to some trout streams. It is gorgeous here. The rolling hills. I mean, I just can't believe it. I sit on the deck with Jules, and we're looking at hummingbirds, or we're watching the woodpeckers come into the feeders, or we're watching all the birds fly around like crazy, or watch the hawk hunt, and I just laugh. I mean, I just laugh. I can't believe we're here. I can't believe we're here. I mean, this has been a dream. This has been a dream since 2008, since the crash of 2008 when we're sitting in Illinois, and I realized that my life, all I had in my life was pretty much, I mean, when I wasn't working was the kids and Jules and all the activities, but at work, it was just work, and a lot of my life was just work. So we are here, and this place is just amazing, and we're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk about this journey, how we got here. We're going to talk about Eagles Ridge, because a lot of you are probably like, well, shoot, they were just at this homestead. They're going to break ground. They're going to build everything from scratch, and now they're in another place. Yeah, there's a whole story there, and it's an amazing story, and I can't wait to tell that one. But I want to do that with Jules, because I can't do that all by myself. I mean, I could, but it'd be much more fun to have her talk about it too. And it's such a good story. It's a great story. And I don't believe in coincidences. We're supposed to be here for some purpose, and we're here, and we're going to make the best of this. We've got a place, we got a house, we've got a garage, we've got a barn, we've got a garden shed, we're calling it, and we've got a chicken coop. We have outbuildings. We have a house and outbuildings already. We have a well, we have septic, we have all these things that work. And we were going to have to build all of that from scratch. So we are essentially leapfrogging where we were at Eagles Ridge and breaking ground and building. We are leapfrogging like 25 years, 15 years maybe. We have an orchard, a small orchard with crabapple and apple trees and some other stuff I don't even know what it is yet. We have grapevines everywhere. We have an asparagus patch. An asparagus patch. I was going to grow one myself. Started from scratch, but I'm 3 years. That's 3 years right there. I'm ahead. We have blackberries, raspberries everywhere. everywhere. We have grapevines everywhere, wild grapes everywhere. I have elderberry. Elderberry! Oh my gosh, elderberry. And I know some of you are just like, oh yeah, I got this stuff all over the place too. But this is the first time I've got this stuff, and it's great. It's fun. I mean, it was crazy to be here in late August, and we were still living in the apartment and moving back and forth. So we're only like weekend warriors here. But seeing all of this stuff mature and ripen and everything right in front of our eyes, and we're like, oh my gosh, we have this, we have that. Can we pick some of that? Well, we probably shouldn't, because we got to leave, and what are we going to do with it and all that stuff. But we have all kinds of stuff, amazing stuff. We have an abundance of stuff. We have walnuts. I don't even know what to do with walnuts. If anybody has any ideas with walnuts, let me know. Please, in the comments, let me know what you do with walnuts, because I got a ton. I transferred some elderberry. I'm beginning an elderberry patch. I have wild cherry. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing to me. I just laugh because it's just so, this place has so much abundance. And I haven't even done anything yet. I haven't even started yet. I haven't even built my garden yet. Oh, gardens. Yes. We have flower gardens. Amazing flower gardens. There are so much. I mean, most of the house is surrounded by flower gardens. And a lot of it's overgrown, so we're going to have to go to war against weeds. But whoever lived here at one time was such a wonderful gardener. They had such a vision. It's an amazing thing. And you can feel that energy. I mean, just the flower beds are amazing, and they did so much work. It's just overwhelming. So even me, who has a green thumb, it's overwhelming. So we're gonna have to adopt the philosophy of less is more with those flower beds and really work on that. But yeah, we have, what else do we have? We have hydrants. We have fenced in paddocks, fenced in pens with hog panel. I have extra hog panel here. I can do all kinds of stuff with hog panel. It's amazing, right? I have a shed. I have a riding lawnmower. I could not mow this thing. I have a pickup truck, and I'm going to put a plow on it pretty quick because I'm going to have to plow snow in the winter. I'm going to plow snow. What the heck is that? I snow blow with a hand snowblower thing or shovel. It's amazing how far we've come in just a short time. I mean, we're approaching 2 months of living here full time at the farm that we moved away from the third floor castle in the sky. And it just is amazing to me that it's amazing to me the peace that I've found living here and being here. And yes, we do have furry little critters. This is one of Amy Dingman's questions of the week. Yes, we have the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? I mean, we have the peace here, and the bad is, okay, if you want something, you've got to drive to get to the store, and the ugly is, yes, there are mice in the woods and in the country, and you're going to have to deal with those. But guess what? There's mice in the city too. You probably just don't see them. So all of these things we're learning. There's a lot of learning, doing, and growing going on here, and we are definitely getting a little better every day. It's so exciting to be here at Driftless Oaks Farm. I could talk about it for probably 8 hours, but you'd probably tune out and you'd never want to hear my podcast again. But the bottom line is we made a huge jump by moving here, and we've come a long way. We've been very busy since we've got here. We had to combine, again, our household. We had to empty out our storage lockers, and also the former owners left some things here. So again, we're combining essentially 3 households again, right? Our apartment, where we have all of our goods that we use every day, our everyday goods and furniture. And then we had our storage locker in New Richmond. We had actually 2, one with our tools and things that we're using on the land out there, and then also materials that we bought for the new construction project. So we had to bring those all home here. And then we also had a storage locker at the apartment. So with 3 storage lockers in our apartment. And I know some of you are like, well, you guys all talked about minimalism. Is that really minimalism? And the answer is, yeah. I mean, we are doing a good job of getting rid of what isn't essential, what we don't need. But the fact is, here at the farm, we do need some things. We need tools. We need gear to make this place run. And you can't always run to the store because that'll chew up your whole day. We've been finding that out too. There's a whole there's a whole podcast or 5 coming up about all this stuff. It's really been eye-opening as you go from theoretical to actually doing it. And we are doing it. We are here. We are doing it. And winter is coming, and we're definitely doing the winter homesteading thing. So it's exciting. It's a lot of fun. And Jules and I, we love it. We absolutely love it. And okay, I'll tell you a little secret. Julie doesn't like mice. I mean, who likes mice, right? Nobody likes mice. There was the trap. I have a lot of traps out, but I caught one in our red and white shed. And for the first time in her life, she actually took a mouse out that got caught in the trap and threw it off in the field. And that was a first. That has never happened before because I always get that duty. So it's amazing how much you change when you get into a situation, you get into a place, and you really love it, and this is where you're going to be, and this is just part of it, right? This is just part of life. It's like when we moved to Tallahassee, Florida. We were at my boss's trendy condo, and we're sitting around eating barbecue or something around his table, and I look up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a cockroach on the ceiling. And for a northern guy and gal who had just moved down to the south, we weren't aware of that. Cockroaches are just like mosquitoes. They're everywhere. So we didn't realize that. And they're like, yeah, don't worry about it. But up north, if you have cockroaches, that means that, oh man, bad things are coming. So it's just a different perspective. And once you get to a place and you love it, these things are, nobody likes mice. Nobody likes them. But we're going to take care of that stuff because we're going to be living here too. And we don't want them around. And getting rid of those is just part of life. So, yeah, we're excited to be here. I'd say one of the biggest things is we got a lot of projects to do. I'm working on fascia, soffits, gutters. Some of the birds, they found little holes in our fascia, and we need to get those changed out and replaced before they come back and nest, because we don't want little creatures in our house, right? Feathered friends, furry friends, we have a whole world for them to nest in and breed in and do their thing in. But my house, that's for us, right? We don't want them in there. So that project is ongoing. We've been doing other home improvement projects, and we've got ideas. We've got big ideas for what's coming. One of the big ideas is chickens in the spring. So I do have a chicken coop here, which I've never had before. Never had chickens before. It's going to be very exciting. I'm going to document that and have a lot of laughs and probably a lot of heartbreak and figure that out as we go along. Again, remember, learn, do, grow, be a little better every day, right? And we'll have to show you the blue barn. Our blue barn is our pride and joy, and we have great vision for the blue barn, and it's going to be a wonderful piece, a wonderful centerpiece of this farm. It already is, but it's going to be a lot of fun to do some things in there, build that out a little bit. So one of the big things, and we'll kind of close up this podcast, and I won't ramble and drag you through this too much, or drag it out too much. It's been great to actually build community here too. That's one thing we are starting from scratch. Well, not quite from scratch, but pretty close to scratch. We moved here. We don't know the neighbors. We're starting to get to know them. We don't know people in the towns around us. We don't know anybody. We know a few people. We know people in Lake City, which is across Lake Pepin. It takes them about an hour to get here. We know some people up in Bay City, friends of the family, and then some friends that really close friends to ours. So we do have some friends in the area, but we're going to be building community here. And part of that is opening ourselves up. So we had some people out. The Driftless Wolves came out here yesterday. And we had chili, we had Cheetos, and we had projectiles flying through the air at very high rates of speed with a crack. You can figure that out. But it was a great time, and we've just been working on building bonds with our friends and other people here and opening ourselves up and having those conversations. It's the only way it's going to work. And building community is so important, especially in these dark and uncertain times. We need to have friends. We need to be able to borrow that cup of sugar and at the same time lend that cup of sugar. Have abundance mindset and have people over, open up your home, help them out. Someday maybe they'll help you out. It's a gift for a gift. That is a long-standing tradition. That stretches back thousands of years, and it makes so much sense, doesn't it? If you want to build a friend, it's a gift for a gift. So make sure that you are open to receive and open to give. Give somebody that jar of pickles. Give somebody that jam that you make. Give somebody that, I don't know, some of that produce that you've grown. And just make a friend, right? That's so important. And we're really looking forward to connecting more here and building more relationships. There's a lot to talk about. There is a lot to talk about as we move forward. This is a beautiful place. We're learning a lot of lessons. We're doing new stuff here. I mean, we are going to be building a whole new garden in 2022. There is no garden here. I mean, vegetable garden. I should qualify that. There's a lot of DIY projects we're going to do, and there's a whole journey and how we got here and what we're going to be doing in our philosophy moving forward. So there's a lot to talk about. Escape velocity is so important. That's getting enough momentum where you're breaking out of the orbit of the ordinary, right? And there's a lot of people out there that are doing that, and I can't wait to talk to them. There's some people doing some great stuff, and it doesn't, they can get that side. You can get that side hustle going. You can get that extra job going, because who knows, might need it in the future. And you can break out of the normal, break out of the routine, and actually do something a little different. So there's a lot of good ideas coming. There's a lot of good guests coming. Thank you for tuning in. I so appreciate it. Yes, we're approaching 25 minutes, and I didn't think I would be talking this long, but thank you for tuning into the Small Scale Life podcast. I'm your host, Tom. I am so happy you're here. We're going to be doing this weekly. We're going to have a lot of great guests. I've got some good ideas and some good things. I've been working on stuff even when we weren't broadcasting. I've written a ton. I've got some books coming, I think. I mean, there's so much. And building a new garden, building new things here, making this property even more exciting and better and open to people. I mean, I can't wait. There is a journey. We're on a journey, and it's going to be a great one. So come along with us. Take my hand. Come on. Let's go. Or just jump in this next seat to me, and we'll take a drive down the road and Frank the Tank, the Ford F-150. So I hope you're doing great. Good luck if you're hunting. Good luck if you're getting out there in the woods. Wear some Blaze Orange. Stay safe, everybody. Remember, snow is coming. Winter is coming. Save up some food. Learn, do, grow. Be a little better every day. This is Tom from the Small Scale Life podcast at Driftless Oaks Farms in the Landing podcast studio. I have my own podcast studio. Oh, gosh. This is awesome. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll catch you real soon. Take care. Bye. Wasn't that great? That was Sean from Mosiah and the Jupiter, who wrote the song for the Small Scale Life podcast. We really appreciate Sean. I really love Mosiah and the Jupiter and what he's doing there and the Appalachian folk music that he creates. So that's what that music was. I love it, and it is part of the Small Scale Life podcast. So happy Halloween, everyone. Happy Samhain. I can never pronounce it right, so I say Samhain, but it's not. It's Samhain. But I hope everyone, all the little ones, got a lot of candy and good stuff, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you're healthy. I hope that 2022 brings new prosperity and new things for all of us. But until then, we're going to be making new Small Scale Life podcast recordings and we'll be back real soon. So take care, everybody. We'll see you real soon. This is Tom from the Small Scale Life Podcast. See ya. Bye. Please hit subscribe and hit the little like button.